You're watching Experience Comic Culture and Sales. Streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
2, 1.
Hey, happy Monday. So, Span Brothers are back, and we got Rockin' Robbie. What's up, bud? How's your weekend?
Hey, dude, man, I had a great weekend. How are y'all doing?
Every weekend is a great weekend when you're Robbie. What do you? I mean, honestly,
No, every weekend is a great
does
weekend
that
if you're
dude know
John.
what it's like to not have
No,
a good
every
weekend?
weekend is a great weekend if you're John. Come on.
I did have a
Retired
great
John,
weekend.
come
I can't complain.
All right,
I
stop
can't lie. Weekend was fine. Buddy of mine up in Trenton was doing an event for the university, and we had a blast. Prince Con. We've been going to this gaming convention for a super long time.
Right.
And the pandemic kind of jammed it up a little bit. You know, almost every con took a hit from the pandemic.
So, listen, we're going to do something special tonight. We had mentioned this, and Jay, you got the picks, right, for CJ?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, as promised last week, but it didn't quite take off the way we wanted to. So, and I know Neil, who's not in the room just yet, but he wants to try it as well. So we welcome you to do it as well, Neil. So CJ has done some sketch covers. He has managed to complete them at a much quicker pace than Robbie. That's why we have no Robbie sketch covers to show you. Thought I mentioned that.
If you follow CJ on Instagram, you get to see a lot of his stuff. And,
yes.
CJ, you do a good job, man. You do a great job.
And if you follow Robbie on
rocking,
Instagram,
man.
you will see the award that he won for the hair many times, but no sketch covers. All right. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to throw up the ones that CJ did. They are in CJ's possession. We have picks. So we are going to have everything go through CJ, okay? So if you know CJ or you've connected to him, and we do have, there we go. The Instagram contacts up there. But if you forget it, you didn't get it, whatever, you can fill out the submission form, say you claim one of CJ's items, and I'll connect you guys together. So CJ will take care of shipping and everything else, all right? So first up, let's throw up the first one. Buddy,
you know what? Here's some motivation. I have an idea.
Uh-huh.
Why don't we simply pre-sell Robbie covers and say, contact Robbie for your cover, and not say another word?
I would advise against that, just to let y'all know.
I would advise against
I believe that if you hold on to somebody's money for that long, you actually owe them interest. I think that's the way it works.
No,
I'm not sure.
I've had people do to me what I suggested to Robbie, and it just never worked out. Oh, he'll show up. No, I won't.
All right, so this
I
one
won't.
is from our buddy CJ Design. All right, so you got
I like
Captain
this
America
one a
and
lot.
Bucky planting the flag, and I think that is Captain America #1, variant edition. All right, so now CJ, we texted back and forth, but I don't want to say it if that's not what we're doing. So CJ, if you're there, I believe, can you throw up the retail price on that, buddy? Or the claim price for tonight?
That's really, really nice.
All right, so
I would recommend everybody go find CJ on Instagram, and you can kind of follow along. You know what I mean? We have a lot of, it's not really just like Robbie. We have some really cool, creative people in the chat. Go find them on their social media. We've talked about Triple B.
All right. That's what I thought. I just want to make sure, CJ. So these are on sale tonight for $69.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's really
Nice.
We are just sort of providing the venue for CJ. So the entire deal, if you claim it, will go through him. All right. So, but it will be part of the Rex cap. All right. So not yet. Pretty impressive.
Yeah,
and
that's
CJ,
really good.
So I'm going to put you in touch with Mariano Nicieza. The obvious goal to all of this is, put a little money in CJ's pocket, but beyond that, to kind of get him, started on that road to becoming an artist, or he's already an artist, but to become a comic book kind of creator and actually make some money doing it.
You mean he spared the Mariano pep talk?
Yeah, I told Mariano, don't use pep talk A. Hey, Ron,
Son,
go with
technical
B.
school, learn a trade. There's no future in drawing comic books whatsoever. And that's the nice version.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so the next one, go ahead. Now, I believe these are all going to be $69. All right, so we got Hulk number 1. So everything you see of CJ's will be $69, not including shipping.
That's nice. It's like a nice non-standard version of the Hulk. Every time I see the Hulk now, he's as wide as he is tall. They draw him like almost like a D&D character, and I'm like,
All right, and we will throw this into the Rex Cap for anybody that may not be in the room at the moment. So the last one is Ghost Rider.
wow.
That's a nice one. Flaming
That's
Headball.
really nice.
And this, again, is $69.
No,
all
it's
right.
just the Nicolas Cage.
7 minutes in.
Uh-oh.
7 minutes in.
I really like this cover because I know it's very difficult to work with this kind of stuff on a black cover. So that's awesome.
Yeah, CJ's got some amazing pieces on his Instagram.
Local broadcaster in our area.
Look at that. We got a
at,
claim if y'all can hear me.
Barajo's, bakery.
I don't know
What's that?
these screens going on and off.
They just realized.
Yep. And we just realized
y'all.
we got Comcast.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Apparently, us and the Hulk are taking a knee.
Are we back? Jay, are we back?
John, move
I
around
guess
a little
not.
bit,
I
please.
don't think we're back.
No, we can hear you, but you're still kind of frozen. Oh, there we
Yeah,
go.
we've got about 3 conference calls going on right now. All right, Ron, awesome. So Ron is claiming the Captain America CCA.
Oh,
All right.
nice. Yeah. Ron, that's a really nice cover, man. That's
All right, so I will, since it's Ron, I have everybody's email. If you want, Ron, I can shoot an email connecting you and CJ, and you guys can work out details there. All right. All right, awesome. Awesome there. Cool. All right, so that was the slowest wave ever. It was the Matrix wave.
but he was like move around, and I'm like, I really don't do that much anymore. So
Oh, man.
I'm also not 100% sure we're back.
Are we back, Jay?
You're back.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, good. Awesome, Ron. You got it, bud. All right, so cool. Very cool.
Very cool, man. Congratulations.
So
CJ's
when hopefully Neil will send me something soon, and we're going to do the same thing for Neil as well. All right. So part of the show is, obviously sell some comics, but listen to John's banter and my banter and Robbie's banter. Okay. Robbie has better hair with his
but
banter
Robbie's
than we have.
award-winning banter. It's a difference.
No,
man.
he has
they give
award.
him
No,
trophies for what he talks
they
about.
give him trophies for his hair. Okay. He's an
Hey, I got one
award-winning-
trophy for my hair. The rest of them are for other things. Okay.
It's for the
Oh, the
content,
rest of
man.
them are irrelevant compared to the hair. We all know that. Come on. All right,
yeah.
now-
The best overall
now-
channel has nothing to do with anything, right?
No. Irrelevant to the hair one. So, substandard to the hair one. Come on, let's call it what it is. All right. But it's nice, this idea kind of came out just organically. CJ reached out, sent me some pics, and then we got busy, and then I was like, hey, and then actually Mariano looked at some of his work and said, who's this guy, that is an artist, and I go, well, sort of. I said he's one of the people in the group, so that's awesome. So I'm glad we were able to do that. But other than that, what'd you do this weekend? Oh yeah, so John mentioned Bajos, and he name drops the local newscaster, and they take a big pic and he posts it on Facebook.
I've known the local newscaster for a long time.
So I personally consider that a name drop. Okay, that pertains to me. So I took a shot after that. Was I day drinking? Did you post that in the daytime?
I did post that in the
I
daytime.
might have been day drinking, people.
And you know who often is also day drinking? Bob Kelly. Bob Kelly tends
He looks
to make
way
stuff.
too happy.
That guy will tend to.
Hey, me too.
He'll tend to pick a spot to do a little segment in, and he'll always ask, "Hey, we're gonna get something to drink," and he's not asking about Wawa.
So Bellagio's. I'm trying to think what was near there. Well, you had the chain places across the street.
He went to Yard House. I told him to go to. He went to Yard House. He didn't even have to get back on the.
So
highway.
there you go.
Take the back
So
road.
there you go. John's hobby: getting newscasters drunk in the daytime.
Not just newscast.
Anybody that'll drink with him.
I was this close to getting Jim. I said, Jim, we were at lunch, and I said, how important are comic books really? I said, you want to get a bottle? And his no, I can't was really slow.
Oh, man. Commander
Beef, I'm not going to lie. I've been super fortunate for someone that has, very little talent. I've been super fortunate.
And he knows me.
Well, like if I'm a D&D character, I roll the other stuff. Like I rolled charisma high, but intelligence and stuff is low. So,
Oh, man. All right. So what about you, Robbie? What'd you do over the weekend?
What did I do over the weekend? I hung out with friends. I hung out with family.
Are we out again?
I'm sorry, what's that? Are they out? There we go. I had a great weekend. I did a couple shows, the Dylan's Horror Show, continuing March Madness, and hung out with some friends, watched some good movies, had some karaoke time. What about you, Jay? How was your weekend?
Oh, it was pretty good. Watched some EXP shows. There wasn't a Robbie live, so I had to watch some. We watched Children of the Corn and the 2021. Holy crap!
Oh, you saw the new one?
Yeah.
I didn't even watch that one. I love the original. I don't know about the 18 sequels, but I do like the original a lot.
It starts off pretty good, and then it just gets all over the place. Like the young girl that stars in it, that's kind of like the not Malachi, but what's the other one's name? I can never remember. The main character from the first one, the dude with the hat.
That Jebediah Ezekiel, something like that.
I think so. Yeah.
He's just naming Amish people he knows.
She's on par with him. She was the bright spot of the whole movie.
Gotcha. No, John, I was just naming books of the Bible because I figured that has to be one of them.
So
Zephaniah,
Amos,
Hosea.
Yeah, we're back, Kristen. So I saw a weird movie this weekend that I just didn't even know existed, and it just happened to be on Netflix. I clicked it on. Noah with Russell Crowe.
Oh yeah, that was a terrible movie.
Oh God, it was bad.
It was this idea that some Bible stories can be made into amazing movies, and then there's Noah
with the rock monsters. I don't know what the heck that was about, dude. That was bad.
You don't remember that bit in the Bible, Rex, with the rock monsters fighting Noah's Ark? That was on day 39.
That was a horrific movie. Just like everything, just like anything else. Sometimes things get left on the cutting room floor. The rock monsters
and the cast was pretty big time cast, right? Yeah, that was bad. Oh my God! But the hostage, I should have watched that. Weird. All right, so let's. You know what? We got Ron in the house. Let's do sketch covers. So let's get that out of the way real quick. All right, first one night, Ant-Man and the Wasp, #1, signed with Cap Wolf cover sketch by Tony Scott.
I like this a lot. As soon as when I got the email for this, I was going to be like, well, maybe we won't put this on the show.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. I really do. Yeah.
This is good.
What's up your alley? I mean, it's horror with superheroes, so it's right up your alley, Robbie.
Yeah, plus Cap Wolf is a classic run in the Mark Grunwald era of Captain America.
Yeah. I saw some people on Twitter talking about, they've gone crazy in comics. They're making Captain America a werewolf now. And I was like, son, sit down for a second and let me talk to you about Captain America being a werewolf.
Yeah. And that's not even the craziest thing they've done to Captain America. So
the guy was like 20, and I'm like,
all right, you got it, Ron.
You were born. That's a great Ron. That is a nice claim.
All right. So next up, we've got Batman 357, signed with Robin cover sketch by Dan Neidlinger.
Nice. It's like the Robin #1 recreate.
Oh yeah,
right?
it's got that Tom Grummett energy, right?
Yeah.
Suggested retail of $149.99. We've got this one for $85.
People today, especially younger readers, don't understand like how popular Robin became at that moment.
Well, it's because he finally put on some. It's because he finally put on some pants.
There was pants, there was gadgets, there was.
He has a cool cape too, right? The black on the outside, yellow on the inside. Yeah,
there was some very cool stuff going on here. It was
that was a long running series too that they did.
Yeah.
I know Chuck Dixon had an extended run on it. Bill Willingham did some work on it. So
yeah,
I love it. And Tim Drake's my favorite Robin, and it's mostly because I still think this is the coolest Robin costume personally.
Yeah, I've said before, the only Robin costumes I've seen I like better than this are always from Elseworlds. They're not part of continuity, you know what I mean? They're always sort of, you see it the once, and there's a great riff in one of the Elseworlds of basically it's the Batman Beyond costume, but it's Robin colors.
Right.
Where basically it's Tim Drake essentially as an older Robin realizes the same like Bruce Wayne. I can't do this anymore. So he builds the costume to do it. It's real neat, real different the way, very cool. It almost, the costume he designed for himself, I cannot remember who the artist was there. It was very Battle of the Planets. The way the capes sort of became wings or whatever, and they sort of had the, if anybody's ever seen the Battle of the Planets costumes,
right,
he very much looked like the character of Jason.
All right, so next up, we got Batman Beyond #1, signed with Terry cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. It's just a retail of $129.99. We have it at $75, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start slashing right away. We're going to make this one $45. How about that?
Nice.
How about that?
You know what? Batman Beyond is one of those things that I think a few times they've sort of moved it to the forefront. I think they've after seeing the Robert Pattinson Batman, I'm firmly convinced that the next live action Batman movie should be Batman Beyond, with Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne and finding an actor to be Terry McGinnis.
Right. All right. So then, last one of the night, Immortal Thor #1. Signed.
Yes, CJ, you're right. The purple and yellow work really well there. The purple and yellow is almost like a Batgirl callback,
right,
to like the 1960s series.
Hey, Kenneth. All right. So Immortal Thor #1, signed with Black Cat, cover sketch by Jessica Court. It's just a retail of $149.99. We've got this one for $85. Too bad Matt Carper traveling right now. He would go nuts.
I know he's going to go nuts. Well, I mean, Black Cat went from being an afterthought to, is it Jed McKay? I want to make sure I'm giving credit to the right creator here.
Yeah.
Jed McKay decided, I guess, at some point to say, hey, throw me Black Cat and I'll do a little something.
Right.
And he did several sort of, I don't want to say runs because they weren't real long, but he did a run that was broken up into several different volumes, I guess. And it was just, it made me a Black Cat fan. I had so many people tell me you have to read this. And I'm like, come on, man, Black Cat. No, that's too far for me. And it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. It did exactly what they wanted to do. It makes me buy the books. It makes me care, and it makes me a fan of the character, where a guy like me was never buying that.
All right. So you got it, Ron.
Ron tonight is
he sees him, man.
Well, tonight, when I got that email about what we were doing tonight, I was like, oh, people are going to pick up some cool stuff tonight.
So the good news is, well, it's not good news for us, but the sketch cover is going to be a little bit lighter from some of these artists, because, as is the plan, they come on board, they do sketch cards, sketch covers, and all that stuff for us, and then based on what production thinks, they're getting cover work, which is awesome, which is absolutely awesome.
I think I'm going to jump the gun and just text somebody, do me like a Draculina cover. I'll explain it to Nick later. I'd love to see Jessica Court do a Draculina cover.
God help him. But anyway, so but the good news is Mariano's constantly looking for talent. So he's taking submissions, looking at stuff. So we have new artists coming in, but it's great. It's great to know that some of these artists are going to get cover work.
How much
that's
talent
the point.
can he be looking for? He's just playing with trading cards. Every time I come to the desk, he's playing with his trading cards.
Dude, you don't have to listen to him on the phone all day. Telling aspiring artists to jump. It's not fun. Sometimes when he's done with his calls, I feel kind of depressed. I have to go outside.
If you miss this deadline, I'm going to have the bank foreclose on your parents' home. Have a blessed day. And he hangs up the phone.
All right. So, you know what should we do? Well, we got to take a break at 2.
Do we have more? Oh, wait. When is our? We have a funky break.
2 minutes. So probably, Marcus, not much point in doing a Rex Cap. We haven't gotten too many books. So we'll get to the signed ones after. And then we got a ton of Thundercats to anybody that didn't pick it up.
Corey, good. That's a good man. I will. I mentioned this to Nick chatting previously. I would love to see Jessica Court. I wasn't shy at all. I was literally, the message was like, hey, yo, ... Jessica Court, ... Draculina. Right. And my favorite emoji in 2024 is this. Like, what am I going to do to make this happen, man?
Oh, man. So, yeah, no, it is really cool. I mean, this is the process. Obviously, we saw it with Ken Hazer. We used to have a lot of Ken stuff on. Then Ken obviously started doing covers for us and things of that nature, and started, doing books for us. And obviously, the man only has so much time. As fast as he is,
the artist rotation for Dynamite stuff, that's pretty rarefied air to try to break into. Yeah. You've got Joseph Michael Lindster, you've got Lucio Perillo. You know what I mean? It's not like it's a low bar to clear. Because you look at Nick, you look at the editors, and they're like, okay, we have to do these covers, right? And you've got people who have legendary runs and covers with the primary characters, Red Sonja, Vampirella. It's difficult to break in. It really is. I know people are like, someone asked me when there was going to be like a Tony Scott cover in the Twitter comic chat. And I was like, if there is a Tony Scott cover, let me ask you a question. Look at the latest run of something. Who are you bumping? You bumping Ken Hazer?
So, no. Commander Meath, no. See, John only wants to talk to you after you've made it, like David Avalone or Ken Hazer. He doesn't want to talk to you if you haven't made it yet.
Dave Acosta. I was just talking to Dave Acosta about an Elvira cover.
Anybody playing drinking game? There you go. That's shot number 3.
But that's kind of what I say to people all the time when they ask that question, like, how hard is it really? And I'm like, well, of course it takes a lot of talent and, perseverance and that sort of stuff. But you also have to look at the level of competition.
Right.
It's the same in the restaurant industry. It's the same in anything. It's a level of competition is super high. And to bring it full circle, the awards Robbie wins. If you look at the other shows that Robbie is sort of competing against, that's a high level of competition. These are super popular shows. It's not like he's competing against like one person yelling in their basement with you know what I mean? Like streaming like to 9 people.
Right.
There's like a ton of competition. And it sort of adds more to the value of the nomination. And of course, when Robbie gets the win, at least that's the way I say it.
All right. TJ has a question. Let me look for you, TJ. All right. So the FOC bonus, Declan Shalvey full version cover Y is $9.99. So TJ, let me know if you want one, buddy.
The best place is there's that red box thing. Oh, there you go.
Thank you.
Thank you, DIY Craft. There's this box where the safekeeping, where the digital exclusive covers go to. Not that safe.
Yeah, right.
I walk right past it all the time.
So, TJ, yeah, you're right, Marcus. We are at break. TJ, let us know if you want the FOC foil. We've got them all. Issue 2.
We on break time?
Yes, 2-4. We're actually a minute over.
We'll be back in a couple minutes.
You got it, TJ.
Symphonic verses, Nocturne's romance. A song of romanticized darkness, dreaming death by sleep.
My name is Mark Weiss, and I am the founder and president of an organization called Comic Books for Kids. 6 years ago this month, we embarked on a journey of passion and heart. Our goal was to make a difference for children in hospitals and cancer centers. We want to thank our friends for allowing us their support and for providing us with the means to make so many happy with their gracious give to us.
Did you know that every Experience show, including some exclusive content, streams on Twitch? Check it out, twitch.tv/the_EXP. Or just scan that QR code.
I never thought this would happen.
I'm talking to Amy.
John is actually giving Amy advice as we speak. I never thought that this would happen ever.
Let me say hi. Hi, Robbie.
Hi, Amy.
Click the link and fill out your stuff. Or
yeah, as always, fill out your stuff, fill out the forms because it's easier on me. And you know what happens when I have a bad day. But I had to talk to
we all know.
About
we all know what happens when Amy has a bad day. And let me say this. Click on the damn link because we suffer here at home. So, but other than that, I'm just in awe that John was actually giving advice to Amy and Amy was taking it. I'm just sitting here going, what universe have I walked into? But anywho, sheesh, what? What? Hey,
John and I are discussing something very important. I gave him an idea and he agrees with me.
I agreed with you and Robbie on Friday, okay? All right, don't push it. Okay, don't push it.
Guys, good luck for the rest of the show tonight. I don't know how you deal with Rex, but good luck.
Can you get Alex back in here?
Alex, you busy?
All right, so so Amy and I will be back on the Robbie show on Friday for the topic of the day. Let's get something juicy this Friday, buddy. Something we can sink our teeth into. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I think we'll be talking. I think we'll be talking about James Gunn's Superman Legacy again, Rex. Your favorite subject. So.
Oh no! This is why I'm never here on Friday.
Oh no! I'm just sick of hearing the news. Is there more news?
No, I'm just joking.
God, we draw the line at hardcovers.
What?
Omnibuses. We draw the line, dude.
I've already taken this one home and read it.
Okay. Never mind that. All right, so you know what? Let's do the sign books. We'll do a full talk X-Men 97. We did, Marcus, sort of, right?
Yeah, we talked about the showrunner getting fired and maybe why.
To me, it's you know my thoughts. I think the guy was just a moron. Okay, come on, dude. OnlyFans, really? You really need to do that to express yourself? I mean, you couldn't,
Oh yeah, Disney, See, here's the deal. They kind of need to destigmatize some of these things that I've seen a couple other people sort of run afoul of because they have an OnlyFans or whatever. They talked about this like 10 years ago. You've got multiple generations of people that have sort of gotten various media recorded that they would like to not see put back out there again. It's inopportune. It's things they did when they were young and stupid, maybe when they were in an altered state. I think to a certain extent, if someone is saying something really horrible, then you can hold it against them. If someone's using an OnlyFans for chit chat and gym selfies,
we don't know that that's the reason that he got fired.
Don't laugh. That OnlyFans thing has come up a bunch of during the pandemic. A bunch of chefs that were home were like, "We're gonna have an OnlyFans, and it's just gonna be us pictures. All you can see is our hands, naked stuff."
Oh my god. Only flan.
I'll tell you right now, if there's an only flan, I would absolutely subscribe.
It's kind of narrow, don't you think?
I love flan.
I do too, but I think it's kind of a narrow topic.
I love flan, and I've got to drive more than an hour to find like an authentic Puerto Rican place that makes it the way I like it.
I like flan too, but I'm just saying, man, it seems like a topic that, you could probably turn into dust within months. You know what I'm saying? Talk about every possible thing you could talk about.
Only ham sounds like a
only hams.
Only hams you get Kyle signing in on, because I guarantee you that they're doing pork.
Triple B.
Triple B's thinking.
Maybe.
See, Triple B's thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Only spam.
I like it. CJ came up with it first.
That'll be where this show goes next.
Only spam. John will come up with recipes, and we'll just talk about the goodness of spam. The history of spam.
One of the things I did this past weekend is I taught a buddy how to glaze spam. He had no idea how to do it. He'd eaten spam.
I would have no idea.
I told him, to kind of cut it a certain way or whatever. I should have used the video because I used the spam slicer.
So
that
really
we were gifted. Yeah.
So new show, me and John. Robbie's welcome to jump in. Only spam. Maybe we could justify taking a trip to the museum. A whole special episode.
So I kind of showed him in a pan with maple syrup and.
I don't know, Preston. John knows how to glaze spam. All I can tell you is it'll probably involve some sort of bacon grease. That's all I know.
There was a small market that did. They called it crack spam because it was glazed and then they sort of let it harden before they put it on your sandwich. So when you bit into it, there was like a little bit of a almost like a little crack chewy effect, like if you've had the Korean chicken wings like that, where they almost have like a crispy glaze.
Right.
And it was delicious. It was absolutely delicious. And the lady told me how to do it. I was going back to Jersey. It's not like she was like had anything to worry about me.
Right.
Explained how I did it. Took it home. Took me a couple times to do it, and I swapped out a few things because I really like maple syrup and
bacon.
And well, you know what? Bacon is one of the things I think if you have spam, let it stand on its own.
Wow.
Let it stand on its
own.
Bold
statement
I am not
there.
The biggest fan of people who feel the need to wrap sausages and bacon and let things stand on their own.
I would agree with that one.
If you have a really good brat, just find a roll, man.
You don't need bacon.
If you like some onions or something, that's great, or maybe a little mustard. But there's no reason to have like a brat and pork belly and it's wrapped in bacon and deep fried and then it's stuffed in.
I would agree with that.
Well, it can be overloaded, and then you just get like a mush of flavors, and it's too salty or something like
salty,
that.
That's exactly right.
Hey, Ryan, what's up, man? All right, so let's do the sign books, and then we'll do a Rex cap.
Did we do all the sketch covers?
We did.
Okay.
All right, so first up, we got Batman Arkham Genesis #1, signed by Peter Tomasi. Signed in silver. This is an awesome cover.
That's an awesome cover, man. It's silver signatures. Yow.
All right, so suggested retail of $69.99. It is number 4 of only 27 signed, and we've got it tonight for $35.
I mean, of course it's me, but I really like green isn't a color you see too often with Batman.
Right.
And I kind of love the fact that they sort of get the green background here. I don't know if it was the colorist or the artist that made that choice, but I like that a lot.
All right, next up, we have Deceased, A Good Day to Die, #1, signed by Derek Robertson, one of the co-creators of The Boys. It is number 9 of 100 signed, and we've got it tonight. I'm practically giving it away at $15.
Wow.
All right. So then next up, Generation M, #1, signed by Paul Jenkins. I believe he's a writer, if I remember correctly.
He is.
And 63 of 100. And we've got it tonight for $10. Signed book for $10.
Here's a character for like gone but not forgotten.
Chamber?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Chamber didn't make it to the movies or anything, but this was a character that kind of had his 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah, he was popular back in those early Gen X days for sure.
I remember I was at a con and somebody had converted like a model cover, and they had used, it was one of the earliest uses I've seen of LED lights, so it must have been super expensive. And the guy did the whole chamber effect with LEDs.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was super expensive at the time, because now, you go to, I get LEDs that, Alexa will send them to me tomorrow, no problem. But you know what I mean? Back then, you kind of had to order them from Egghead or something. It was like a whole thing.
I remember there was a Generation X toy line from Toy Biz back in the 90s, and the chamber figure had that like gimmick where, it would like flash when you like flicked it on the back or whatnot. It was really cool.
And Mark, you said it, very 90s, kind of goth, like Chris Angel having a super bad day.
All right. So next up, we have Captain America Reborn #2, signed by John Cassaday.
Oh, man.
Suggested retail of $89.99. He signed it in gold paint pen, and it's number 43 of only 50 signed, and we've got this one for $35.
I love this cover. I love the fact
it has a very dynamic angle, right, John?
Yeah, it's the original Shield. One of the prized possessions I have from Dynamite is Nick got it signed for me. Is there's a hardback, The Art of John Cassaday, Dynamite Art of John Cassaday. Nick got it signed for me, and I got to tell you, man, that stuff is that he's one of those artists that his style sort of defines what the book is going to be. When you see him, like when he did Lone Ranger, there was a noticeable shift in the character.
All right, so then here we go. Thundercats #1, the Klon Shalvey variant, Atlas edition, signed by Drew Moss. This one we have for $49.99.
Sword of Omens, man, very cool.
Yeah, it was one of the first few books from Thundercats that we got signed that they finally came in. So we've got this one for $49.99 tonight. All right, so then next up, we've got the Star Wars #1, signed by Mike Mayhew in silver. Suggested retail of $69.99, and it's number 4 of 77 signed, and we've got it tonight for $35.
Just talking to Amy about this before we came back from break.
Yeah,
this is one of the things we were talking about. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's see. All right, final signed book of the night. Well, this one's a signed book and a remark. Grimm Fairy Tales, Myths and Legends #1, DF variant, exclusive variant, signed with Wolf, remarked by Ken Hazer. You can see that up top, above our head. Suggested retail of $89.99. Tonight we've got it for $30.
I like this cover a lot. I like the spot color on that. Makes it look really, really cool. And nice collars too.
The folks at Zenescope, I know them a little bit. Their offices are in a corporate campus near my wife's company. And I used to be in charge of getting food trucks for this corporate campus.
Right.
And one day they kind of saw me reading comics, and we talked, and I'm like, yeah, I know who you are. And it was super nice. We sent over a bunch of food, and I think I got like he sent me over a box like the first 3 years that Zenescope had. And it was just, they're super nice. But this is another thing I tell people, when you kind of get burned out on superhero comics, and this is what I used to tell people about Dynamite in the beginning. When you get burned out on superhero comics, when your favorite character has been killed and brought back and retconned and this and that, and you've just had enough, there are certain publishers that can really help you sort of dial back into comics.
Right.
Dark Horse is always one of them. Dark Horse was probably the lead go-to there. Dynamite certainly, and to a certain extent, Zenescope. They don't take themselves too seriously. They're interested in just kind of doing cool stuff that entertains the reader. They don't care that this book isn't going to be a chase book 25 years from now. If it happens, that's great. But they're really very much an of-the-moment publisher.
Right.
And they still are. You look at the stuff they've done now, they've created an entire sort of fairy tale alterniverse, which is you can pick that up, jump in. Their writing style, to a certain extent, is a little bit like David Avallone's, where they can tell you what you need to know on like the inside cover of the paragraph, and you can just pick up a book and go. And I love that.
All right, so let's do
Rex Cat. John Cole's Cooking Comics. The very first thing I did, probably 20 years ago, was I hosted a chat called Cookbooks and Comic Books.
Right.
And I was surprised at the time, found over 1,000 people that all kind of in the general area, that it turns out, especially pro cooks when they're home, a lot of them are reading comics. A lot of these guys jump into the comic book store before they go to work or whatever. I was very surprised. Cookbooks and Comic Books lasted for 4 years, I think.
Really?
Yeah. And people loved it. And then there became a Cookbooks and Comic Book segment on my first radio show, where we would kind of talk about a comic book store and a great place to get something to eat next to it.
That's an interesting combination, I think.
Well, it would be like I would talk about Dynamite and then going over to K-Town to see my buddy Paul and pick up wings.
Yeah. No. I get where you're going. It just seems like not your normal combo. You know what I'm saying?
I remember when we got to over 100 members, I'm like, this was a goof. I literally thought it would be like me and 10 fat people talking about comic books and cookbooks. And there was all sorts of people. All of a sudden, somebody was from like Albany, New York, and the chef from Chicago, she logs in,
right,
and her restaurant is in the same kind of like building as the restaurant. And so she talks about, she'll do her morning prep on Wednesday. She'll go down to the comic book store. She'll get her stuff, throw it in her bag. She'll work her shift. And then when she goes home.
You just never know. So it's a 4 or 5, right, Jay?
Yeah, we have 2.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You wouldn't think that those two would go along, I guess,
I've noticed that I've found over the years now that I have like a wider social media presence.
Right.
Comic books, pro wrestling, food.
Food is a big
Those 3 things. The same people watching Iron Chef are watching AEW and have a subscription to Marvel Unlimited or something.
Right.
You
wouldn't think that. I wouldn't have guessed it. I mean, it kind of makes sense now you say
it's artistic, it's creative, it's subjective.
Yeah, but I wouldn't.
And it's something that you can be part of the creative process.
Right. I just wouldn't. It just didn't dawn on me those two would be kind of connected together. That's kind of odd. But so that's already been done. I'm telling you, we should focus on spam. There's got to be more of us out there.
Spam.
It's got to be more of us out there, man.
We get tons of listeners in Hawaii, man. It's a state food group there.
Oh my Lord! All right, so you know what? We're gonna take our break, and then we'll do the Rex Cap when we get back. All right, so stay with us. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
By this time in our journey, we had been on the trail of a very elusive creature for about 96 hours. But all the hard work is about to pay off. Oh, crikey, there she is. Oh, by the markings, I'd say this one's at least a 9.8. Oh, she's a real beauty. A true mint copy. Oh, this one will make a fine slab on anyone's display wall. Oh, she's a feisty one, though. Look out, look out!
Mint Hunter Comics is the place to find that mint comic you've been searching for. Mint Hunter Comics, Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, part of the experience. To be continued. 3 little words that hold the secret to the next great story. 3 words that will thrill you, confound you, give life to new possibilities. Every variation of To Be Continued is a promise. A promise of adventure. A promise of excitement. A promise of unseen wonders and unexplored worlds. A promise that every issue you read makes you a part of a never-ending journey. And behind every page, there will be an unopened door waiting for you. This story to be continued at your local comic book shop. Visit comicshoplocator.com today.
Programming on the EXP is made possible by viewers like you, or your local comic shop, or that Kickstarter you backed, or the publisher you like, or comic industry professionals who want to share a message, with the world. Really, anyone who wants to advertise with us can. If you're interested in seeing a product you know and love, or are creating, or are publishing, or are involved with, advertised here on The Experience, and having your message shared with our viewers, please reach out by scanning the QR code below or visiting our website and using the contact form.
Hey, we're back.
We're back.
And
Amy's still here.
And he's still giving advice to Amy, and she's listening intently.
It's not advice. It's a conversation.
It's a conversation.
Dude, you two have never conversed.
I always give her the same advice. Find another job. Live your life. You're a young person with potential. Go. Run far from here. Well, it's just sad old people
I'm in Bizarro land. I don't know what's going on here.
Another year or two, and Amy will be responsible for bringing people their meds at their desk. Like, here you go. Here you go. This way she.
Now that could be true, actually.
they change Amy's title to caregiver, and
we're getting the ramp put out front soon. So
ramp. Oh my god.
You know, got to have that ramp for the wheelchairs and the walkers and stuff. So.
Oh my god.
Get back to it. Hit like.
Sounds good.
Are you at your desk doing a little sketch that we can raffle off?
Not today.
Sketch? The Wrath of Amy could be Grindhouse film. One of the things we were talking about were Grindhouse films.
All right, so let's go. Let's do the Rex Cap. There we go. Thank you, Jay. All right, so you know what, Jay? Let's start with CJ's stuff. All right, so there are two sketch covers that we have here. All right, so this one is by our buddy CJ Design, Hulk number 1. And he's working his way as a new artist. All right, so then the second one is Ghost Rider. So both of these are $69. I know that our buddy Ron has purchased one. So what'll happen is if you claim one of CJ's sketch covers, you can just hit the submission form, let us know, and I'll put you guys together, and you guys can work out all the details. All right, that's just going to be strictly between
Ron's
you
picked
guys.
up some really good stuff tonight.
What's that?
Ron has picked up some
very for real, right?
Stuff tonight. That Captain America cover is
all right. So let's
real nice.
All right, so let's do the Rex Cap. All right, so we have Ant-Man and the Wasp number 1s. Oh no, that one Ron bought. Sorry. Batman number 357 signed with Robin, cover sketch by Dan Neidlinger. It's just a retail of $149.99, and we've got it for $85 tonight.
Yeah, I think Robbie mentioned this is a little bit of Neidlinger after Grummet, and I think that's kind of clear. That's kind of obvious. Great job there.
So, all right. So then we have Batman Beyond, number 1, signed with Terry cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariana Nicieza. It's just a retail of $129.99. We had it $75, and I lowered it to $45.
Batman Beyond is one of those things too. It's it's more popular now than it was when it was coming out. Like it's always increased in popularity.
Yeah, I think in the beginning people didn't know quite what to make of it, and then they kind of fell in love with it. But as years went by, people missed it. It kind of came back a little bit here and there. Every time it comes back, it's more popular. Like Robbie said, I think this is their direction for a live action film, and I don't know if that'll happen or not. But I think, again, we sort of see Michael Keaton emerging as Batman.
So Preston, okay, we can bring more Jessica Court since you made that personal request. Yeah, definitely. I'll make sure there are at least 2 Jessica Court pieces next time.
Marcus, you think there's a vest that's going to fit me? You're hysterical.
Vests.
How
do we get on?
Good luck, bud. All
right. So next up, we've got Batman Arkham Genesis #1, signed by Peter Tomasi.
Yeah,
suggested retail of $69.99. Is number 4 of 27. We've got it tonight for $35.
And y'all know that I go to a lot of cons, not as many as some people, right? But I've only ever seen Peter at one con, and that was MegaCon this year. And it was because they were doing a big ghost machine thing. So he doesn't do a whole lot of cons. He's not one of those guys out there on the circuit like a Mike Grell or a Chris Claremont. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a good point. Mike Grell, no disrespect. I see Mike Grell a lot, and Robbie goes to way more cons than I do.
All right. So next up, we have Deceased, A Good Day to Die #1, signed by Derek Robertson. Giving it away. It is, I got it at $15. Giving away one of the co-creators' signatures, co-creator of The Boys, giving it away there. All right. So then we got Generation M #1, signed by Paul Jenkins.
A little bit of blast from the past, as we were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm. All right, giving this away for $10.
Yeah, y'all need to snatch this one up too, because this is a direct snapshot of me after I ate the Carolina Reaper for the first time.
Robbie on the hot ones.
Nice to see the hair grew back.
It did.
All right, so Captain America Reborn #2 by John Cassidy, signed by John Cassidy. Suggested retail of $89.99. We're selling this one for $35 tonight.
You know, like you mentioned, John, he's got his original shield there, and we see the angle that he's using it. I think that we're seeing the view of somebody who just got decapitated by Cap.
I was going to say, this is the war was a different time.
What's up, Lyle? All right.
Thank you.
Wow, Jay with the sound effects tonight, huh?
Jay's on it tonight, y'all.
All right, so then we have Thundercats #1, Declan Shalvey Atlas Edition, signed by Drew Moss, who has been doing the action figure covers for Thundercats as well.
I really enjoy those. I'm enjoying the action figure covers a lot.
We've got it for $49.99 tonight.
I've been really enjoying this book. I had a lot of fun, especially with the introduction of the new character Calica in the latest issue. So FOC for #3 was today, so you still got time to holler at your shop if you ain't got a special order in. There's some good covers coming out, especially those Rob Liefeld covers, man. I love them.
You're welcome, Lyle. I'm glad you got it, buddy. I'm pretty sure something else got tagged for you today that's headed your way. But don't quote me on it. I'm an old guy. My
What'd you say?
I said Lyle. Lyle was thanking us for he got the one of his winnings. But nice. Another batch went out to him today. I'm pretty sure. But again, I'm saying don't quote me. All right. So what do we got here? All right. The Star Wars #1, signed by Mike Mayhew. Silver signature copy. Suggested retail of $69.99, and we've got it tonight for $35.
I really love Dark Horse cover art. They sort of certain styles really kind of like catch a period of time for comics. And when I start thinking about everything Dark Horse did, 90s, early 2000s, with all the kind of properties, you know, Aliens, Predator, Terminator, Star Wars covers were. Buy those books, and there were times where I bought them. I didn't even read them till later. I just saw the cover.
Well, this is an interesting one, right? Because it's kind of based on the original ideas of Lucas, right? Where like the story's a little bit different. It's about like Luke Starkiller, and you know, it's a little bit more into the like those initial ideas. And then the cover's got that what's his name that did all those movies, like Struzman? Is that his name? It's got like that kind of energy. What's his name? Struzman? Y'all know what I'm talking about.
But yeah, I remember this. They have this
Struzman or something. What's his name? You know who I'm talking about. He did the Indiana Jones books and stuff or covers. Yeah, Drew Struzman. Struzan.
Yeah.
There we go.
Drew Struzman. There we go. But the Star Wars is what I was mentioning a little bit to Amy when she was here. It's different. It's just people are like, they released this a couple different times, a couple different versions. This is really worth picking up if you're a Star Wars fan. I've seen Star Wars fans pick this up and like they did not know these things or whatever, but it's neat and it kind of makes you think a little bit. It's a little bit of almost like a what if, like, usually the first pass on something doesn't, you know what I mean?
Hey, Neil, what's up, bud? So don't forget to email me the pics of your cover sketches. So we just did our thing for CJ. We'll do, you'll see it again when we do the rec scout later. All right, so let me see here. Oh, last one, signed book, Grim Fairy Tales, Myths and Legends #1, DF variant, signed with Wolf Remark by Ken Hazer. It's just a retail of $89.99, and we got this one, and it does have a remark, and you can see behind Red's head of the wolf, and we've got that for $30.
I'm surprised nobody's picked this up yet. This is probably the steal of the night. Great cover.
Yeah, I am surprised this was here. When you put this up, I was almost going to say, isn't this?
Everybody's always like, yo, can you bring some more Ken Hazer stuff? And we're like, here it is, y'all. Don't be a Ken hater. Let's get some Ken Hazer in your life. Let's do it.
Absolutely. I like that. That's like a true remark sort of thing.
No, you cannot, Marcus. All right, so let's do the grab bags and the kit real quick. So as always, we have the Dynamite 10-pack reader set. 10 random Dynamite titles. $3.99 cover price or higher, so a minimum retail value of $40. And as always, $5 to the group.
We always talk about this is a great thing just to buy, to like hand out to people. If you don't necessarily need them, you already got all the Dynamite books. I buy them every week, right? Well, pick these up, give them away, give them to friends, things like that, or check out something you haven't seen already. And they have said before, like you can request certain things, but I would recommend people get this and be like, can you put some Cherish in there? Because Cherish was a really solid Dynamite book last year.
Yeah, you can always make a request. We'll do our best. I mean, we can't guarantee it, obviously, but we'll try to do our best to fill what it is that you like. All right, so
Cherish was great. Last week we mentioned, I think, or 2 weeks ago we mentioned Jennifer Blood. There are titles that Dynamite does that are not get as much spotlight as Vampirella and Red Sonja do, and those in Army of Darkness, and those books are very, very cool.
Oh, thank you, mate. Too, we appreciate it, buddy.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Awesome. Very, very awesome. Oh, that's really very nice.
And Sheena is one of those books where I sort of was telling people the last run that just ended of Sheena, everyone seems to think it's a girl in a leopard skin bikini just running around. No, they kind of developed an entire sort of a little bit Wakanda, a little bit of the Phantom. Really like a very cool sort of world revolving around the jungle. Really, really neat stuff.
Shout out to Make Two. That's so cool of you. First of all, for you and your, doing that for your friends, but for us as well. Obviously, that helps when you do that to promote us as well, and we appreciate it. Certainly, I do. I know John does.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, so I love this group. All right, so next up we have the DF Grab Bag 3-pack. 3 random DC Marvel some indies. We've been selling for $5. Tonight, I'm going to make it $3 for the 3-pack.
Dollar Comics, y'all.
All
your
right.
favorite
I
thing.
like this. This is very much.
There you go. Right.
Very much like a 90s sort of evening and vibe. We've had Chamber. We've got Eco Terrorist Aquaman. We got Thunderstrike. Elf Quest. I think this is.
You just call him an Eco Terrorist, John? What?
That was the term they used back then. I remember Aquaman fans in the 90s were upset because, he lost his hand. He had the long hair. And people were like, what happened to my superhero Aquaman? He's like an eco-terrorist. And I'm like, I love this book. They're doing like a great job here. Why are you complaining?
Thank you, mate, too. That's probably, that's a great compliment to both me, Robbie, John,
yes,
to say that. We really appreciate that. That you
Make Two's a really good liar.
The gift was.
Thanks, man.
Hey, speak for yourself if he says it on one of your shows. All right. When he's on my show, he's telling the truth.
I'm just kidding.
No,
this was like the epic version of ElfQuest. ElfQuest has been done a few different times by a few different publishers. It's a great story.
Commander in Beef, he littered the ocean with his hands. No, the fish ate it. So recycled.
Yeah, no kidding. Like the piranha ate that. He ate those piranha ate the hand up, so there was no littering there.
Okay, sorry, Robbie. I don't mean to correct your award-winning. But piranha are freshwater fish, my friend. They cannot exist in the ocean. Sorry.
I don't think it was in the ocean when it happened. I don't think it was in the ocean.
Yeah, I don't think he lost his hand in the ocean. He probably wouldn't have lost his hand if he was in the ocean. I'm trying to remember
wouldn't the villain's name Piranha? Surely. I mean,
that might have been it.
Did he eat his hand?
You need to call Peter David and tell him about your freshwater piranha philosophy. I'm just saying. You don't need to come at me with that.
That's what I was going to say.
John, will you take care of that for me, please? He's the one who knows everybody. I don't know anybody.
Okay, so it was like, the villain. The villain is Charybdis, and attempting to force Arthur to show him that he can harness Arthur's ability to communicate with sea life, he sticks Arthur's hand into a piranha-infested pool, is what it says.
Gotcha. All right, so next up we have the DF Grab Bag 7-pack.
Poor Peter David was seen in an outside cafe at a Comic-Con probably about 13 or 14 years ago in San Diego. And he was the nicest person I've ever seen. Literally the man sitting outside trying to have a little breakfast before being at the con all day. He took time to speak to like 25 people who were waiting at the light to cross the street to go to the convention center. And I thought to myself, he had a delicious looking breakfast burrito in front of him. And I thought to myself, he's a better man than I am. Because I'd have been like, buy books and eat my breakfast.
All right, so next up we have the DF Grab Bag 7-pack. Same deal. DC Marvel titles with some indies.
Oh man, Alien Worlds.
And we had it at $10, but you know what? We're gonna do it for $7 tonight.
Like $1 a book again.
Pretty much. Well, not pretty much. It's $1 a book. All right. So then
King size annuals are square bound, and man, you gotta love that.
All right, so then we have the DF Grab Bag 15-pack. Same deal there. And we had it at 20. We're going to do this for 15. We're going to turn all this into Dollar Comics night.
Man, I'd be super psyched if I got a grab bag and there was like King Conan, Spectre, and Squadron Supreme in there. I'd be like, done. I'm super happy there.
All right, so then we've got the X-Men Grab Bag 20 random 20-pack. So that's already priced at $1 book. So that's at 20. All right. 25. Wow. All right. And grab bag combo, you get all 5. Still do it at $30 for all 5 of the grab bags. And I promise you that's less than $1. All right. So, yeah, let's do Thundercats. So we've got Thundercats number 2. TJ already picked one up. And we have, let's see, we're going to start off with Thundercats number 1, second print. So first print sold out, and I think second print is sold out too at this point.
Yeah.
With the Rob Liefeld cover. And we've still got it at cover price, people.
Well, the color fade thing is too cool. That's
so just now?
As if you would not, as if like Rob Liefeld doing the cover would not be cool enough. They added like that color fade sort of effect that is... I like that a lot.
Yeah. Demand is strong for this one too, because third print was on FOC today.
Yeah.
So, all right. We still have second print at cover price, people. I don't know where else you can get that.
Mentioned this earlier about John Cassaday. Rob might be sort of like the Mount Rushmore guy for artists that define the era. I mean, there is nothing that screams that era more than Rob Liefeld.
Right.
Maybe Jim Lee. I kind of, when you get that high up, I don't always feel qualified to make those calls. But Rob Liefeld is certainly in that conversation of you look at an artist that brings you back to a period in time.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think to a certain extent.
I think third print covers Nakayama, I think, right? Do y'all know? I think it's Nakayama.
Yes. I think I saw that in the FOC much. I would
say that the Mount Rushmore of 90s comic artists, right? Like as far as like defining the look of 90s comics, Rob Liefeld, Jim Lee, Todd McFarlane, and even then I would say Joe Mattiera right after that probably, because he kind of defined the last half of the 90s.
Very much so, I think.
But you could throw Mark Bagley in there, right? You could throw Mark Bagley, you could throw Eric Larson, you could throw any of the Image founders really, and you can throw like a lot of like good solid artists from the 90s. Alex Ross, when you think about it, right? Like Alex Ross came to prominence in the 90s.
I remember Alex Ross was in Marvels, and then I've told the story before. People looking at the cover to Astro City #1, like taking a second to figure out, like, what am I looking at here? People who'd bought Marvels knew. People that did not buy Marvels were like, what? Yeah, Marcus J. Scott Campbell. That's another.
So Lyle has a question. You guys know the answer to that?
Are those Ultimate Spider-Man, Black Panther, and X-Men books? And I think Ultimate Black Panther is.
Ultimate Black Panther second printing of #1 released this last week. Ultimate X-Men #1 second print is this week in shops, and there's actually a fourth printing of Ultimate Spider-Man #1 about to be dropping in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
All right. So on with Thundercats. All right. So this is second printing of #1, Rob Liefeld cover. Got it cover price, people, for as long as it lasts. All right. So then we have the Thundercats #2 cover set. These are covers A through F. All right. And we have this cover price, $29.94.
I don't think it's going to surprise anyone, but the best-selling cover for me on issue #2 at my shop so far has been the Perio Chitara one, which is really hot. Like, people love that one, and it's just people are snatching it up.
All right. So what we do have, you can purchase the entire cover set. We do have them individually. All right. So the first one, of course, Thundercats #2, cover A, David Nakayama. So as we go through this and you want to claim one, just claim the letter, corresponding letter. Okay. Make it simple. All right. All right. So here's the one I believe that Robbie was talking about, Thundercats #2, cover B, Lucio Perillo. And we've also got this at cover price of $4.99.
Yeah, this one's flying off my shelves. Flying off my. This one in the foil version of it, just flying off the shelves.
All right, and
I see some good names out there, by the way, for the 90s Mount Rushmore. I see J. Scott Campbell. That's a good one. I see Sam Keith. That's a really good one too.
J. Scott Campbell did a Sheena cover a few years ago, and it was an emerald cover in green. But to look at the cover, you would have thought for sure that book was published in the 90s. Like, if you just walk past it real fast, you would be sure that was a 90s book. The cover was just perfect. It made me wish there was a Sheena run in the 90s.
Glad you're home, Lyle. So enjoy what now you don't have to go back anytime soon, right, Lyle? I thought that through the weeks and the months you mentioned that this was it. You're supposed to come home permanently this time. I might be wrong. There you go, Steve B. All right, so next up, Thundercats #2, cover C.
Wow, that might be the deepest cut we've had on this show. Courageous Cat and Minute Mouse.
Declan Shalvey, and we've got this at cover price of $4.99.
This cover, maybe more than any other cover, I think kind of sets the tone for what this series is. Everybody loves action shots and stuff like that. I do too. But the tone, the art here kind of sets the tone for this story.
Right.
And I think that's just when they kind of catch the lightning in the bottle like that, to me, that's just wild.
Oh, you're there until April 30th. I'm sorry to hear that, Lyle. Well, enjoy your week, buddy. All right. So then we've got Thundercats #2, cover D by Jay Lee. And we got this one at cover price at $4.99.
Love his work. Love Mumra. Love this cover. Jay Lee loves blueberry pancakes.
Part of that conference call where Jay Lee is like, I got Mumra next.
Oh, man. All right. So then Thundercats number 2, Ivan Tao, cover E.
Man.
And we've got that for $4.99.
Did not skip Arm Day. Oh.
Yeah, right. All right. So then Thundercats number 2, Drew Moss action figure, cover F. And we've got this for $4.99, cover price.
Yeah, these things are getting harder and harder to find.
Right.
There's reissues, there's reprinting. So if you're in the chat, get them now. You know what I mean? Because we hate telling people we can't get them or we don't have any. Right? Because then what happens is just like anything else, the demand, the spike, oh, now I have to get it. Well, now everybody has to get it and supplies are limited.
So Commander Beef has a question for you, Robbie.
Action figure covers used to sell really, really well for us, but our market kind of dried out a little bit. There's still like a dedicated, fan base that get action figure covers for like pretty much everything. Most of them are like Star Wars people, because they did those. And yeah, the ones that Marvel do, they do fine, and the Thundercat ones are doing all right, but they're not hitting like they were before, like years ago when they first kind of came on, when that Star Wars relaunched.
Hey, Lars, man.
Sort of used to it now, right? Like when they first came out, I remember a few years ago, Dynamite did one for the $6 Million Man. And you couldn't find that anywhere.
Right.
Because the people that bought it clutched it with their hands. Like, it was the $6 Million Man action figure box on the cover. It was amazing. I have like 3 different copies of that. And now I think Robbie, and he's not the only one. I often talk to people over at like Ontario Street Comics in Philadelphia, and they sort of, a lot of times they're right in line with what Robbie reports as a retailer. You know what I mean? These things are, there was a time where cosplay covers kind of didn't sell. These things are sort of cyclical. And I think
the real cool thing about shops, right, and you kind of alluded to this, is like comic shops are a microcosm of the industry as a whole, right? Like when 100%. I talk to other retailers, like we have the same best-selling books. The percentages are basically the same, like maybe there's a little bit of fluctuation. Like I sell more indies than some other people do, but that's because we're out there hand selling them, like most people won't just pick up a book they've never heard of or know about. So that's part of the job of the comic book retailer, is to hook your customers up with books they're going to love.
And this is one of those things when we started doing this show and we wanted to sort of get people going back to comic book stores. We talked about this. The retailer is like the front line person. She or he is responsible for getting books into my hand that I might not necessarily see. There was a time where I didn't consider myself a horror comic fan. And a guy named Josh, who used to work for Steve Gursky and Steve Comics Relief, said, you should really check these out. And they took me back to my childhood of Warren, eerie, and creepy books, and set me down the path of horror comics. He's like, yeah, dude, I'm with you. There's no black and white magazines, because I was talking about how much I like the magazines or whatever. He's like, that I'm not going to try to sell you, but why don't you start checking some of this stuff out? And it sent me back onto the path of horror comics, where now I probably read more non-superhero comics than I read superhero comics. Where 25, 30 years ago, that would have never been the case. And that's because of retailers saying to me, hey, man, I see you buying this every week, and I see you making a face that you're dissatisfied with it. And that's how I got turned on to Astro City.
So, all right. So I saw Lars Man in the house. So we're going to do, let's do a full Rex cap again, just in case anybody missed anything. And then we'll finish out. So we did covers A through F. Now we do have some FOC bonus covers, and we'll get to those in a little bit. And as Robbie mentioned, the Perio foils. All right, so starting with the sketch covers, we've got Batman number 357, signed with Robin cover sketch by Dan Neidlinger. Suggested retail $149.99. We've got it tonight for $85. All right, so then we've got Batman Beyond number 1, signed with Terry cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. Suggested retail of $129.99. We had it at 75. I lowered it to 45. All right.
Yeah, people who've kind of asked for sketch covers and stuff at kinder prices, there's a reality of how much you have to charge for something, but you've taken a lot off of this. You know what I mean? I'm there. This is their opportunity if people are serious about actually having a sketch cover or signed book.
Right.
We've got a signed book out there for like $10 or $15, and I'm like, if you want a signed book, this is sort of this is your moment. Otherwise, you'll be at a con and you'll see it, and it'll be 4 times as much.
All right. So then we had Batman Arkham Genesis #1 signed by Peter Tomasi. It's just a retail of $69.99. That's a great cover.
Signed, it's a great cover, and I believe Robbie mentioned this. Peter Tomasi is not like the hardcore con attendee,
right?
And I don't mean that as any way disrespect or whatever, but I don't think there's certain creators we're fortunate to see pretty frequently, to the point where almost like when I come up to them, they recognize me not as John, but they recognize me as it's this guy again. And I don't, that's not Peter J. Tomasi. Plus, I just really love that cover. I'm surprised this is here, and there's one other thing I'm surprised is here too.
All right, so then we've got that for $69.99. It's just at retail. We've got it for $35. I'll do it for $30 tonight, just to get things moving. All right, so then we had Deceased, A Good Day to Die, #1, signed by Derek Robertson, co-creator of The Boys. And we've got this at a giveaway price of $15 for Derek's signature. All right, so then we have Generation M #1, signed by Paul Jenkins. We got that for $10. You know what? I'm going to make this a best offer item starting at $1. How about that? And see if we can get some movement. All right. So anybody that wants this Generation M book, it's best offer. We're going to start at $1.
I'm a big fan of Paul Jenkins' work too, and I haven't seen him at a con in years. So I don't think he does much of them anymore. And I know he's initially from the UK. He's probably still out there, so it's hard to see him.
So Marcus, $1. I'm not doing 11 cents, bro. It's the decimal point. I got to write it down. It's
I think people have become spoiled.
Yeah, Lars, man, not going to do it for 23 either, bro. Sorry, man. Too much writing. All right, so there it is. Best offer book. Lyle, 44 ain't going to do it either. Neither U.S. or Canadian. Okay? So we got to start at $1, people. All right, so then we had Captain America Reborn #2, signed by John Cassaday. Suggested retail of $89.99. We have for $35. I'll do that for $30 tonight. All right, Commander and B, thank you, buddy. So Commander's in for $2. So you all just get your decimal points and get away from me with them. All right. Okay, so let's see here. All right, then we had Thundercats #1, Declan Shelby Atlas signed edition signed by Drew Moss. Thanks, Becky. Commander Beef's already at $2, buddy. So we've got that for $49.99. Okay, Becky's at $3. You got it, Becky. All right, we're going to cap it, obviously, at the price I had, which was $10. So we're going to cap it there. All right, so let's see. Then we had the Star Wars #1, signed by Mike Mayhew. Silver signature. #4 of only 77 signed. It's just a retail of $69.99. And we've got it tonight for $35.
Nick's Art Show is home of the 11-cent auction. Bring the publisher in here. We need to straighten this.
All right. So then we have Grimm Fairy Tales, Myths and Legends #1, DF exclusive variant signed with Wolf remark by Ken Hazer. The remark is right behind Red's head.
On the moon is the perfect place for it.
No, Marcus, Chewbacca was getting groomed that day, so he was too busy. All right, it's just a retail of $89.99. We've got this for $30. A remark for $30. So, all right. So then
Well, this is always this great. We've talked about this before. This is this great entryway for the people who want original art.
Right.
In some cases, original art is just not in everyone's budget. And these cover sketches, these remarks, these kinds of things are a way for people to get something that other people don't have at a price they can afford.
Right. All right. So now the grab bags. Dynamite 10-pack reader set, as always, $5. 10 random Dynamite comics. The DF grab bag. 3 random comics. We had it at $5. I lowered that to $3. So $1 a comic. Then we've got the DF grab bag 7-pack. Okay, so seven random comics, DC, Marvel, Indie. We had it at 10. I lowered that to 7. So again, $1 a copy. Then we had the DF grab bag 15-pack. Same deal, Marvel, DC, some Indie. We had it at 20. I'm lowering that to 15 for today. So then we had the X-Men random 20-pack grab bag. That's already priced at $1 a book, so that's at 20. And then the grab bag combo, all 5, we'll still do that for $30 if you buy all 5 for all the comics. All right, then we did Thundercats #1, second print, Rob Liefeld cover.
Robbie showing off the Michael Myers shirt.
That was for Triple B. I wasn't just randomly flexing on y'all or nothing else.
Yeah, that would have been a little weird, bud. All right. We've got this for cover price. We've got this for cover price.
Flexi shirt.
All right. So then we have the Thundercats #2 cover set. So that would have covers A through F. And we've got that for cover price at $29.94. All right, then first up, Thundercats #2, David Nakayama, cover A. We've got that for $4.99. Then Thundercats #2, Lucio Perillo, cover B. And we've got that for $4.99. Then we've got Thundercats #2, Declan Shalvey's cover C. And we've got that for cover price at $4.99. Then Thundercats #2, Jay Lee, cover D. And we've got that for cover price at $4.99. All right. So then we have Thundercats #2, Ivan Tao, cover E. And we've got that for cover price at $4.99. And then finally, Thundercats #2, Drew Moss action figure, cover F. And we've got that for $4.99. All right.
I don't know what Jay's talking about. One of my favorite things about this Thundercats relaunch and revival is the lack of snarf, personally. But that's just me.
All right. So, you know what? I did pick a giveaway, but let's do one. What do you think?
They haven't bought enough stuff to qualify for a giveaway. Not nearly enough stuff.
This from the involunteer.
The unvolunteer.
He is a hard ass volunteer, I'll tell you that.
I've already found a home for that Captain America book from John Cassidy.
Yeah, I'm sure you have. All right, so let's make the hashtag. What do you think? Come on.
What?
I'm asking you. What do you think?
What should the hashtag be?
Yeah.
Shame on you for not buying more books tonight.
Okay, now you're going down. All right. Hashtag EXP spam. All lowercase.
There you go.
All lowercase.
Vest. Where'd the vest thing come from? Did somebody wear a vest?
I don't know. I must have missed it. Where did the vest thing come from?
I don't know, but are we? So we're all wearing vests next week, right? Right. That's what we're doing.
No.
Okay.
No.
A vest.
I think we
should.
should.
Like a scarf.
I don't think I own a vest, dude. I mean, seriously.
I honestly don't know. I can't. I had a vest with a suit like in the 90s.
So I will pick something out during the next break to give away. I don't know what it's going to be. I'll figure something out. All right. So, but yeah, hashtag EXP spam, all lowercase, people. All right. So I am probably all right. So we have some Thundercats FOC bonuses and the Lucio Perillo foil that Robbie was talking about.
The foil covers are so sweet.
And we do have a Dynamite.com website exclusive available as well tonight. So Jay, when are we? Hey, Phil, Brian. 3 minutes. Okay, so we got 3 minutes to go. The hashtag spam show. We're thinking about it, Make Two. We were definitely thinking about it. How about the Cassidy? No. Marcus, it's softball, not baseball. And no, I do not. The last time I had a vest had to be sometime in like the 80s.
That's what I was thinking. I think
when vest alone with no jacket became real popular.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Were you rocking the vest with no shirt underneath, Rex?
What's that?
Were you rocking the vest with no shirt underneath?
No.
Oh no.
God, no.
That would be great, dude. I'd love to see a picture of that. You coming up here like Kiss when they you're like Kiss when they took the makeup off or something, man. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I never did that either. No, there was a time when you would wear vests with collared shirts, you know? I don't know, it was a thing without a jacket. So whatever. Maybe we get a Red Sonja cookbook. That's probably not a bad idea. All right, so
Hyrcanian cuisine. We have to figure out how to like roast a lizard on a sword.
I'm with Eddie. I imagine Rex on the weekends just puts that vest on, looks in the mirror, and just like, yeah, and goes out like, give me some beers for me and the ladies.
Yeah. You have a very active imagination, sir. I must say.
That's what they say. That's what they say.
So, I've been doing what you do. I go to bars and start sniffing people. Reaction has not been good. Not at all.
All right. Basically, you could almost argue that Jack White reverse sniffed me, right? Because that was so pungent, the odor. That's all I'm trying to say. Like, have you heard any more stories about me talking about the way people smell? Come on, y'all.
Rexo Suave. I like that. We're going to remember that for another giveaway.
Matt, what's up, buddy? How are you, my friend? To make you feel better, the Jessica Court was claimed by Ron.
By Ron.
So
CJ,
too much info.
Man.
Oh, you know what? Before we go to break, Jay, let's flash up CJ's two sketch covers that are left. All right, so this is our buddy CJ's design, his sketch covers that he personally created. And we're helping them out today by putting them out there. They are $69 a piece. There were 3. There are only 2 left. One of them is the Hulk #1 with Hulk taking a knee because he clearly injured some opponent. So he's taking a knee to let them recover. And the second one is Ghost Rider #1. So with Ghost Rider on a motorcycle, these are $69 a piece. If you claim one of them tonight, okay, you can just fill out the submission form and we will put you in touch with CJ and let you guys handle all the logistics. Okay. But so Neil will be the next guy up. He said he emailed me the photos. I'll have to check to make sure I got them. And so, this is a new thing. It just sort of came about. We weren't planning it, but once we started talking about it, I thought, wow, this is really kind of cool. So in a sense, kind of helping the community out. I know a lot of people they either work at LCSs. They're not just collectors or readers or whatever. Some of them work at LCSs like Robbie. Some of them are artists, just like John Spilios. Some are artists that are at the beginning of the their journey there. So in a sense, it's kind of this whole community thing. And so when we thought about it, I thought it was really cool to be able to do that. So Neil's the next member of the group that's up.
Nice.
So, we'll try to do it Wednesday. Wednesday, we got an hour. It's a little compressed. So Tuesday, probably more likely next Monday, but you never know. All right.
We'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Yes, we will. So stay with us.
Live from New York. What? Oh, sorry. Live from Cleveland? It's Friday night? It's Friday Night Live with Nancy McCann and Ricky and sometimes Carlos, and featuring boxes and boxes of rare comics, unique collectibles, lots of smiles and conversations with new friends. Friday Night Live with Comics Unlimited. Friday night from 9 to 11 on The Experience.
According to a statistic that I just made up, people spend 4 hours a day changing the television channel. People who watch The Experience don't do that. Save yourself a ton of time by tuning into The Experience and enjoying our new original programming 7 days a week. And then tell your friends. Think about the money they could save on batteries in the remote alone just by tuning into The Experience. Find out more by scanning the QR code below.
There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit comicshoplocator.com to find a store near you.
Why was Princess Zelda sad after watching a bunch of YouTube videos? She couldn't find the link in the description. We'll stop if you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's super easy. Click subscribe and click the bell when you do. And thanks for supporting the EXP.
All right, so.
Oh, I don't want to give this away. I like this.
You never want to give anything away. All right, so the giveaway of the night. The poor man's Vanna White will show you. It is Firefly. It is a 9.8. This is going to be the giveaway of the night, people.
This is a great storyline, too. Not that anyone's reading it in plastic, but.
Oh, yeah. And we don't even have a reader's copy to give you. But that is the giveaway of the night. So the hashtag is all lowercase, hashtag EXP spam. And we will do the drawing towards the end of the show.
Hopefully there's a brown coat in the chat that actually wins this.
All right, so here we go. Let's finish up. All right, so we've got the Thundercats FOCs, the Perio, the Nakayama limited version. All right, and then we have a handful of incentives from last Wednesday. All right, here we go. So next up, we have Thundercats number 2, FOC bonus, Rob Liefeld, cover W. And we've got that for cover price at $4.99.
I love this cover so much. I really, really do.
That carpet will win it. Nice. He didn't win anything. You know that.
Yeah, Matt, you still here? You want to get that hashtag in, buddy?
Somebody put it in for him.
All right. Well, can they do that? I think they could do that. All right.
Can they do that?
I don't know. So next up, we've got Thundercats number 2 FOC bonus, Declan Shalvey, cover X. All right. And we've got that for cover price at $4.99. All right. So then we have the foil version of this as well. Okay. That's the best my little bit of editing could come up with. Let's see. You want to hold them up, John, again, if you don't mind?
I don't know how well. We haven't had the best of luck with metal and foil covers because of
probably.
Literally, we're right over.
See if you can see if it looks any better.
See, the problem is it's right.
Maybe, so that's a foil.
Maybe if I tried that,
it's all right. You don't have they know what the image looks like. You're just you're just showing off the shiny part. So, all right.
Ooh.
Thank you, CJ. All right. So that is the foil version. Now we've got the Thundercats number 2, cover G, Lucio Perillo foil. And we've got that for $9.99.
That's worth every bit of $9.99. That is an amazing cover.
And the foil looks a lot better. That foil looks a lot better in real life.
Yeah.
That's yeah. So let me see. Is this? No, that's not the one. Is it this one? Yes, it's this one. Can you see that? See, foily. All right, so we have that one for $29.99. This is the Lucio Perillo foil. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The regular foil with trade dress is $9.99, and then we have the foil virgin cover by Lucio Perillo. That one is $29.99.
That's so nice.
All right, then we have Thundercats number 2, the David Nakayama limited edition version, and we've got that for $50. Give Jay a second there. Jay, can you not find it, or
does it have a letter?
Yes, it is cover J.
Ah, okay.
Sorry about that. That's my bad. All right, so this is the David Nakayama limited version cover, and we've got that for $50 tonight. I do on Thundercats. I do have multiples, just so everyone knows. All right, then we've got Thundercats number 2, Dynamite.com website exclusive. All right, that is.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
That is the line art. And we've got that for $19.85.
I might like this better in black and white than I do in color. In black and white, it has like a real pulpy look to it that I like.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's kind of what it's reminded me of.
All right, so now let's get to the incentives for the night. All right, so we have Ghost Rider Final Vengeance number 1, 125 ratio, Mateus Manhanini, and we've got this for $15. I do have some quantity of this one.
Yeah, TJ, me neither. I can't wait for Space Ghost.
All right. So
I'm pretty excited about that.
All right. So then we have Ghost Rider Final Vengeance number 1, 1/100 ratio, Greg Capullo variant. And we have one, and we've got this for $70. All right, and then we have Symbiote Spider-Man 2099, number 1, 1/10 ratio, Roge Antonio variant. And we've got this for $6.
That's cool. That's really cool.
All right. So then
Symbiote would also explain why Spider-Man 2099 is such a jerk in Spider-Verse movies. Suddenly it's making a little more sense.
All right, so then we've got What If Venom number 2, 1/10 ratio, Chris Capena variant, and we've got this for $6.
Yeah, that's
all right. So then we have What If Venom number 2, 125 ratio, Kyle Holtz variant. And we've got one for $20.
I love this cover. So gnarly.
Yeah.
All right. So we have a handful of back issues. So I'm going to read off each one of them. And then and give you the price. These are all $2 each. Okay. So we've got Iron Man number 157, We have 2 of these, and we've got them for $2 each. Then we've got Iron Man number 193, and we have that for $2.
I can't.
Sorry, folks.
Is the show at an inconvenient time for you, sir? So buy this Iron Man comic for $2. No, these books we have are a great way to kind of fill in gaps. And stuff that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, exactly.
People everybody's got copies of stuff that have been. It's been a while since Rex's song is called.
So, all right. So we got Iron Man number 195. Got it. Got that for $2. 196.
I'm looking at this cover. I'm almost wondering what this story is.
And we got that for $2. Ironically, it was actually my daughter about something that we were discussing earlier today.
She's not watching the show. She doesn't know you.
Yeah. So then we have number 206, and we got that for $2. Then we've got number 208, and we've got that for $2.
I have huge respect for Iron Man fans who stayed Iron Man fans through some of the terrible armors. Just awful, but they stayed there, and I have a lot of respect for that. Silver Centurion is one of those armors.
All right, so then we have Iron Man number 222, and we've got that for $2.
I like the Silver Centurion suit personally. I do, but when I first started reading Iron Man comics, that's what he was wearing. So.
Oh, so you're used to it. I saw an article where a comment where someone said the 2 worst Iron Man armors were the Silver Centurion and the first armor that Ultimate Iron Man wore. And I was like, wait, what? I'll admit the helmet was kind of funky shaped, but it was neat that it was red and gold, but it was also the color of iron.
All right, you got it, Becky. So, Becky, I got you down for 208, but hold up. You may want to hear what I have to say when I'm done reading this. All right, so let me get through the last four real quick. Iron Man number 224. We've got Iron Man number 233. We've got Iron Man number 234. And Iron Man number 235. All right, so that's 12 comics in all. All right. We will sell the entire bundle. There is a dupe at 157. There are 2 157s. Let's make it a best offer. I'm going to cap it at 3 minutes for all 12 of the Iron Man books starting at $8.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So how about them apples there?
Nice.
Yeah. Very cool.
All right. So I'm not sure, Becky, if you want to do that, that's fine. Otherwise, I will just give you the 208 because I don't know who's gonna jump on this, but you can own all 12 books for starting best offer at 8. Roadie gang. Wow. All right. So nothing? Nobody? Okay. Becky's gonna. You got it, Becky. $8. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I got a funny feeling she's gonna get the whole lot for $8.
Yeah, that's
as opposed to buying one for $2. That's why I told her that maybe she wanted to hear what I had to say before she did anything. All right. So I don't think anybody's.
Yeah, that's a real nice.
But we're gonna leave it open, and I want Becky to win it because Becky has been a great viewer, very very.
Well, that's 3 minutes. It's closed.
Yeah, listen to you. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the. Oh, you know what, Becky? I lied. There are two 235, so you're gonna get that one too. So that's 13 books in all.
Nice.
All right, so I'm gonna do. Let's see. All right, I'm going to do the FOC recap, Rex cap. she's winning the signed copy too, right? Yeah, I believe so. Let me see. Yeah. Right now, nobody else has bid. So she's getting that $3. She's nice. Making out. She is making out, which is deserving. No doubt about that. Corey Russ, $3. All right, so here we go. So here is a recap of the stuff, the Thundercats FOC. So we had Thundercats number 2, FOC bonus. Rob Liefeld covered W.
You're just making up letters now, aren't you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Thundercats cover schwa with a little semicolon next to it. And there's Jay trying to page through all.
I'm going to use different languages soon. All right, we got that for $4.99. Thundercats number 2, FOC bonus. Declan Shelby cover X. We got that for $4.99. All right, so then we had Thundercats number 2, FOC bonus, the Declan Shelby full version cover Y. We've got that for $9.99.
Go ahead and suggest to Nick that everything be foil cover from now on. Paper is sort of very yesterday.
I leave that in your case.
Let's go. Foil will be the base, and then we'll go metal, and then maybe we'll do something.
I'll leave that in your capable hands. So Thundercats number 2, cover G, Lucio Perillo foil. We've got that for $9.99. Then we've got Thundercats number 2, cover H, Lucio Perillo foil version. Got that for $29.
What's a foil comic going to cost when you go into Robbie's store?
Right.
Robbie's going to have to explain, hey, man, there's $17 an issue. I don't know what you want me to say.
We got that for $29.99. Then we've got Thundercats number 2, cover J, David Nakayama limited version. And we've got that for $50. Then we have Thundercats number 2, Dynamite.com website exclusive. These were very limited. I'm going to say no more than 50 were made.
I was going to say, I thought that came up before. There were less than 50 made.
So, and we've got that for $19.85. All right. So then, let's see. Okay. So then the incentives, we did Ghost Rider Final Vengeance number 1, 1:25 ratio, Mateus Manhanini variant. We've got that for $15.
Yeah, Triple B. That's the Prio cover and metal sort of go hand in hand.
Yeah, right. Ghost Rider Final Vengeance number 1, 1:100 ratio, Greg Capullo variant. We've got that for $70. Then Symbiote Spider-Man 2099 number 1, 1:10 ratio, Roge Antonio. And we've got that for $6. Then What If Venom number 2, 1:10 ratio, Chris Capana variant. Got that for $6. Then What If Venom number 2, 1:25 ratio, Kyle Holtz variant, and we've got that for $20. All right, so currently Becky obviously is the only bid on this. So the back issue lot, best offer at $8. We're going to go ahead and close it. And Becky, congrats. You are the winner on that one. All right.
Oh, that's nice. Laser edge covers coming soon.
All right. So let's see. We have...
Bring holofoil back.
What's that?
Bring the holofoil back. Bring Tyvek back. Bring everything back.
Tyvek.
I love those, and maybe 1 out of 1,000 people know what I'm talking about when I say that.
Continuity, of course.
Continuity comics. I love those, man.
Yeah, that was a novel idea. I mean,
it was a little bit ahead of its time.
What did you think of continuity? I mean, Neil Adams. I mean, the man's art.
I'm like a sucker for Neil Adams, so he could have done anything. You know, somebody mentioned like Courageous Cat and Minute Mouse.
Right.
If Neil Adams had done that, I'd have been like, okay, here's my money. I love the continuity comics.
Right, I got you. All right, so
it's a suggestion for John to bug Nick.
Is it true you're giving out a slab?
Yes, it is.
What?
All right, so
we'll give away a slab.
All right, so we have.
He doesn't care. It's not his stuff.
Well, it's not my stuff either.
I was gonna say the guy who owns this stuff is gonna pop in here. Alex is with us now.
All right, so Jay,
This is
you
really
got
cool,
that?
Phil.
You got the wheel ready to go, or what?
Everybody's in, got their last.
All right.
Greg Pack. Oh, that's
I like
awesome.
that.
All right, here we
The book
go.
is really cool. Not that anyone's taken it out of the plastic, but it was a really cool story.
So
That's
spinning the
nicest copy
wheel.
I've seen of that
All
book.
right.
Good luck, everybody.
How funny would it be if it's Matt Carper?
I don't think he was in there, and you
Yeah,
didn't
he
want
was
me to
in
put
for
TJ
me.
James.
Yeah. All right, TJ.
TJ James with the suggestion of the night: holographics covers.
TJ, I walked in, you won. Look at that.
All right, cool. Congrats, TJ. All right, so Jay, what do we have coming up behind us tonight?
Well, I know that at 10:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central, we're going to have the Devil's Advocates. Not exactly sure what they're going to talk about, but then again, you know, we have that that Spawn controversy going on, so that might be a topic. But also, let me go ahead and put you in the chat a pre-save link for Pop Culture Philosophers and their movie night tonight, because we all love Robbie and we want everybody to watch his show.
I think love may be a strong word.
Everybody's already watching this show.
I think love is a strong word there, Jay. Speak for yourself, buddy.
I love you too, Jay.
I'm a Robbie Mark, guys. Y'all know this.
No. I'm right there with you, man. I most of the times I blurt out what he's doing on his show before he does.
Bandwagon jumper.
Yeah, tonight we're continuing March Madness with a look at Lucio Fulci's 1981 Italian classic, The Beyond.
The Beyond. I've never seen that one. You are totally on your Italian directors right now, aren't you?
That's just who I am, man. I love
it.
it.
No. But I mean, seems like the last couple of weeks it's been.
Well, last week was The Host, which was Korean, and then
oh, okay.
But we did do on Dylan's horror show. We're doing Blade in the Dark, coming up this upcoming Saturday. That's a Lamberto Bava film from '83. So that's I am covering 2 Italian horror films this week. So.
And I'll tell you what else you should watch, because she's like one of my favorites. I've met her at a bunch of cons, Barbara Compton. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch Suitable Flesh. It is a very cool kind of idea of like a riff on Lovecraft.
Right.
Heather Graham is in the movie. It's just a fun watch, man. It really is a fun watch. And
I just watched that, John. Like I just watched that like a week ago, and I loved it. Loved it.
It's fun, especially, you know, we've talked about this a bunch of times before, that Lovecraft hasn't always had the best of luck being translated to movies. I would say there's probably more misses than hits for Lovecraft in the movie genre. I think Suitable Flesh is sort of like, I would say it's a hit. It's a low-key hit, but it's definitely a hit.
Well, and if you like if you're a fan of the Stuart Gordon stuff, and I would argue that those are some of my favorite Lovecraft adaptations, you know, Reanimator, From Beyond, Dagon, Dreams at the Witch House for Masters of Horror. This was going to be Stuart's like next movie, right? And then he passed away, unfortunately, but it's the same writer as those other ones. And Stuart Gordon was going to do it. And Joe Lynch comes in to take it over. Barbara Crampton's production studio is the one that produced it. Like, if you like Reanimator and From Beyond, this is the next step, basically.
Yeah. There's
Jay, good idea. All right, so before we get out of here, we're gonna flash up the 2 sketch covers by CJ Design that are left. All right, so the first one is Hulk #1, and this one, both of them are $69, not including shipping. If you choose to claim one, fill out submission form, and what we will do is we will put you in touch with CJ to work out all the details. All right, and the second one is Ghost Rider #1, Flamin' Head and All.
Nice.
All right, so again, these are by our buddy CJ Design. They are $69 each, and if you claim them, fill out submission form, we'll put you in touch with our buddy CJ. I know Ron already picked one up, so I will be sure to email both you, Ron, you and CJ in the morning.
And to just show you, it's not just a story. My issue of Thundercats 2 has arrived, and it is indeed the action figure cover. I love these. I love the action figure cover. I've always kind of collected the stuff other people did, black and white covers, action figure covers, cosplay covers, and I think I got into that because as a kid I loved Gold Key comics, and anyone who's seen old Gold Key comics in the 60s and 70s. There were a lot of sort of funky covers going on there, photo type photorealistic covers. One of the things I love about variant covers, I know some people, some retailers, some other people, maybe it's not. I love the fact that you find something for everything. I don't care if you're an 80s kid, 70s kid, 90s kid, you're an old man missing Wally Wood covers. There is a cover for everybody for something.
So Jay's got a question.
You know what? I talked to Rachel. Rachel did. I don't know if it's because of the nature of Thundercats. There were no cosplay covers for this first run of Thundercats. However, if you want to see a unofficial Thundercats cosplay, Gracie the Cosplay last did one, kind of like the day they announced we were going to do these for Dynamite. She crafted these boots. I mean, Gracie really went all out for this.
All right, so be sure to tune in tonight to Robbie's movie night. And then 10:30, I think we have programming at 10:30, I believe.
I think a short box of Rachel Holland covers, and she asked if she could sign the box and not the books. She's like, do I really have to sign all of those? Can't I just sign the box?
Yeah, so 10:30 Eastern, Devil's Advocate. And then Robbie is at 9 Eastern, 8 Central. Correct? There you go.
And as a real quick reference before we go, I mentioned this a couple of years ago. We were at a con. We pulled out an iPad. Robbie was on it. People at the bar knew who he was. The guy I was with the con with was a huge Robbie fan. Like he legitimately didn't believe me that he was part of the show until I showed him. Huge Robbie mark. He's the reason my friend likes your Italian horror now. Robbie sort of introduced him. He was a very much 80s horror guy, like me when we were a kid, right? Very like Friday the 13th, that sort of stuff. He saw one of Robbie's early episodes, and he kind of dialed into Argento/Italian horror. So, we have a lot of fun, but that's like a real effect where you're seeing Robbie.
Well, if he wants Robbie to sniff him, you can arrange it. You should tell him you can arrange it. You can make that happen.
So no, that's a shoot. That's a true story. I've known the guy 40 years, and before he started watching Robbie, he had no idea what European horror was. That's how he had no idea. And Robbie he saw a thing. Robbie dialed him into it, and now he's almost every movie he brings over to like group movie night, it's always something Italian. It's always Argento. It's always something.
All right, so we will be back Wednesday from 7 to 8 for Comic Collectables. Be sure to tune in at 9 tonight for Robbie's movie review.
Don't miss it.
Amy and I will be back on PCP on 10:30 Friday.
10:30 Devil's Advocates?
10:30 Devil's Advocates. But Amy and I will be back with Robbie on his channel at PCP on Friday at noontime Eastern for the topic of the day. And, of course, Nick will be back at 7 p.m. Eastern on The Experience for his original art show on Friday night.
Sell you for 11 cents. We have to have a talk with Nick.
So,
thanks for joining us, everybody. Congratulations to everybody that picked up books. Some people picked up some really cool stuff tonight. Congratulations to TJ for winning.
Yep. And as always, we love you guys.
Thanks Robbie. Thanks, Jay. Always pushing the buttons.
Oh, yeah. Thank you to Jay pushing the buttons behind the scenes. We appreciate you, buddy. All right. So, see you guys next time.
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere The Experience is all the time.